So you've just taken delivery of your new Tesla vehicle, you're thinking about taking delivery sometime soon, doing your research, you've read all the blogs, the forum posts, you've watched a bunch of videos, but you want to know more. Some off the beaten path, some secrets, some tips and tricks, some things you should do to get the very most out of your new Tesla vehicle. And that is exactly what this video is. I put together a list of some things that you should do for your new Tesla vehicle to get the most out of your car, but also make your life a little bit easier. If you are someone who has owned your car for a while, you probably know all these, but you might learn something new. And if you are new to the Tesla family, welcome. Here are some things you should do to make your life a little bit easier with your brand new Tesla car. So in no particular order, here are a couple of things I recommend you kind of get sorted and squared away when you first get the car or before you take delivery. One of the biggest is making sure your Wi-Fi setup is all locked in and ready to go wherever you happen to be parking your vehicle. Software updates are one of the biggest benefits to owning a Tesla. There are so many new features, so many new things that can get unlocked via software updates, and having a strong and reliable Wi-Fi connection available for your vehicle to access is going to allow you to download and install those software updates in a timely manner. If you have a garage, let's say, you want to make sure you have an access point near that garage, or maybe a mesh system and putting one of those mesh nodes in the garage itself. The reason this is so important is because the Model 3 specifically is not known for having a very stellar Wi-Fi signal. The Wi-Fi antenna in the car is a little bit weak, so it takes a little bit of an extra boost to get that Wi-Fi signal to your car. Where your phone might be reporting, 4 or 5 bars, the Tesla might see 2 or 3. So make sure your Wi-Fi situation is locked in and ready to go, and give a little extra boost to the Wi-Fi near your car. And of course, if you want some recommendations for some mesh systems and some router systems, I'm a little bit of a networking junkie. I'll leave links to everything I discuss in this video right down below. And if you do purchase through those links, it really does support this channel and help me out a lot. So thank you very much in advance. Next up, you want to get the apps. That means the ChargePoint apps, the EVgo apps, the Volta apps, all of those third-party charging apps that will make your life easier when you're around town and trying to plug in your vehicle. Get those installed on your phone and operating system of choice right now. I recommend the big ones. ChargePoint's really big. They are everywhere. I also like an app called PlugShare that basically allows you to see all the different kinds of third-party chargers or even just regular random outlets available in a particular area. I've done some videos on this topic and getting the most out of public charging. I'll leave a link to it down below and up here as well. But just get those apps installed. They're usually free. Sometimes you have to sign up for the service, so jump through those hoops right now before you need to charge and you're waiting on your phone to, put all that information in right when you're trying to charge the car and go do your thing. Just do that now, take care of it, and make your life a little bit easier, and you'll thank yourself a little later when you find one of those stations and you do want to charge up your car. Next up, a big one is Sentry Mode. Again, one of the biggest reasons many people flock to the Tesla is because there are many specific features that are special to those cars, and Sentry Mode is a big one. It allows you to get almost a 360-degree view around the car as your alarm system. So not only is the car going to make audible noise if someone's trying to break in or touch it or key it or do something, but it's also going to capture video footage of that, like I said, almost 360 degrees around the car. Sentry Mode is awesome. It also works in conjunction with the Dashcam system. That's going to allow you to record different incidents that happen on the road from all of those different cameras as well. But you're going to need to record it because the Tesla vehicle doesn't have any kind of built-in memory to record that footage onto. Luckily, you can pick up a bunch of different drives, portable SSDs, USB flash drives. Some people even use SD or micro SD cards. I will leave a link to all those down below. And also, you want to set those up a specific way. The Tesla kind of requires a specific format structure and a specific format for the drive. It's not the most intuitive, though it is getting better. I'll leave a link to a video up here that I show you exactly how to set up those Sentry Mode drives on both PC and Mac. This is a big one. Make sure you do it. Get that drive ASAP because you do not want to have anything happen to your brand new car and not have it on footage. Speaking of fun things to do with your new car, it is very, very easy to get sucked down the rabbit hole of accessories and things you want to do for your car and things you want to get. Many are guilty, including myself, of going down that rabbit hole of Amazon purchases and getting things that you need and you don't need. And I don't really have any specific purchasing advice per se, but I will say this. Two things. One is that there are fun accessories and there are accessories you should probably pick up day one that is just going to make your life easier. For me, there are some cosmetic things that I've gotten in the past, and I'll leave a link to those below. But probably the most important ones for me were, one of them was a anti-glare kind of matte screen protector, just because the display on the Model 3 is incredibly glossy, and I wanted something that was not going to shine the sunlight coming in the window right to my face. That was a big one. And then also, I guess it's got to be the center console wrap. I know it sounds stupid, it is a very cosmetic thing, but that shiny, glossy material that is a fingerprint magnet unlike anything else is also not only a little bit distracting, but can scratch super easily. So if I had to recommend like any two to do first things, those would be my first two recommendations. Though it always is fun going in and getting things like the performance foot pedals and chargers and all that stuff. There's a lot that you could go into. I'll leave a link to my favorites below, but I will say those are important. And also, after learning from personal experience, don't do what I did and cheap out on getting things that were cheap just because they were affordable and didn't last. I bought a number of different screen protectors that were cheap on Amazon and ended up being not only a pain to install, but just were absolutely awful, and other accessories that I cheaped out on because I didn't want to spend the money that ended up breaking or not working right or just being more of a hassle than it was worth to pay $10 more and get the right one. So keep in mind that you spent already a considerable amount of time and money into a vehicle. Don't cheap out on the accessories. Don't be like me. Don't be dumb. Sometimes you just get what you pay for. Some other random tips I'm just going to throw out there. One of them is that you should probably switch to percentage and not the rated miles on the Model 3. So you have kind of two options to see kind of near your battery. You can see how many miles your car thinks you're going to have left on your specific charge based on your driving conditions and patterns. Or you can also switch to percentage, which is essentially the exact same thing based off the same metrics, just displayed in a different way. But I found for myself, especially being a Standard Range Plus owner with a smaller battery capacity and less range, that I had less range anxiety on percentage than I did when I had the rated miles. Maybe it's just because I'm so used to my phone and I can squeeze a little bit more out of 20% or 15% or 10%, maybe around 10% I should start thinking of a way to charge rather than I had 40 miles and I'm starting to freak out about, I really need to go charge or this or that. It's a personal preference choice for sure, but at least for me, switching to percentage instead of miles kind of helped alleviate that range anxiety and took a little stress away from the drive. But that, again, is going to be up to you. But I know there's a big decision to be made about whether you should do percentage or you should do miles. Let me know what you have done in the link below, or I guess in the comments below. But it is something that you should consider just because it kind of does change the mindset a bit about driving an electric vehicle. Another thing to do when you first take delivery of the car after you get all the paperwork figured out and sorted out is taking care of those rebates. Get that money back, get the money you are owed, and make some money off of, or recoup some costs after the financing and all the payments you have done on your new Tesla. There are a number of different and various rebates you can take advantage of depending on where you are. I will leave another link to a video up here, I think, where I talk, or actually up here, where I talk about some rebates you could take advantage of. In my case, I had obviously the federal tax incentive, which is shrinking but still available. You have a state incentive. There's an EV rebate, like in the state of California. I think you get $1,000, maybe more. You get a certain amount of money just as a check for buying an electric vehicle. And then there's the energy rebates you can get. I think I got $800 from my energy company as a credit towards my bill just for owning an electric vehicle. There are a number of different rebates you can take advantage of. Definitely do not forget to do those. Also, pro tip as well, if you live in a state where you can get the decals for carpool access, like in California, do that as soon as you get the car as well, because along with the rebates and the tags, they take a bit of time to process slowly through the systems they are in. So you want to take care of those as soon as you get your car. I think for me, as soon as you get that initial batch of paperwork, when you take delivery of the car, you can start filling out all those forms for the rebates and the tags and all that. You can do almost immediately. So be sure to do those and do not wait, because the longer you wait, the longer it's going to take to get your money back. Another random tip that is also a nice one to take advantage of is changing the wheels on your car to reflect any changes you've made to the cosmetics. So, for example, my car started out with the base stock Aero wheels from the delivery center that Tesla puts on at the factory. They're polarizing, people love them, people hate them. A lot of people tend to switch them out for the Tesla wheel cap kit, which is an awesome accessory. It's like 50 bucks and allows you to give a little bit of a custom flair to your car and not have the look of aero covers. But fun fact is that when you do that, you're changing the aerodynamics and the range of the vehicle, and there are some things that should be adjusted for the car to compensate for that change to the tires. Little changes, but also important. And also, if you want the change of your wheels to reflect in the car and in the app, you want to change that on the car. So if you go into the settings here on the car, you can actually go into the wheel configuration subsetting here, and you can change the vehicle to what tires you have on the car. So if you have the wheel cap kit, if you have the aero covers on, or if you have other wheels on that Tesla provides, you can change that, and that's not only going to change within the app cosmetically, but it's also going to change all the estimates for the range and the energy consumption and all that stuff under the hood, so to speak. So be sure to do that, and it'll make your life a little bit easier, and your car will now reflect what is in real life on the app. And my last random tip here is that you should turn on honk to save Sentry Mode clips. So I've talked before about Sentry Mode in other videos and how that works and how it captures things. And typically, if you want to save an event that's happening while you're driving, you can tap the little icon and it'll save whatever happens to happen in real life, like for a certain time. So let's say car cuts you off, you slam on your brakes, you want to save that. You can tap the little save button and it'll save, I think, like the last couple of minutes surrounding that event. But what if you get in a situation where you forget to do that, but you were to honk at the driver? Maybe someone is about to cut you off, or there's something in the road, or whatever the case happens to be. There is a setting built into the Model 3 and all Teslas for this matter that will automatically save a Sentry event when you honk the horn. I think it's called honk to save Sentry Mode clips or whatever it happens to be. There's a setting, turn that on, so if you do get in a situation that's unfortunate, like an accident or you get rear-ended or something happens that causes you to hit that horn, it'll automatically save every perspective of the camera from whatever's happening at that certain period of time. Little safety feature, you might not even need it, but it's good to have. And that's it for this video. I hope it was helpful. A very random assortment of tips and tricks, but I thought if I was someone who had watched a million of these videos before I took delivery when I just got my car, I know the big stuff, but I want to know the little random things that probably an experienced Tesla owner might know, actually. All right, and that is it for this video. Sorry for the kind of random sprinkled different tips and tricks throughout this video. But from my perspective, if I was someone who just took delivery of the vehicle, I knew all the major stuff, but I didn't know some of these little nitty-gritty details. And if I was an experienced owner, I probably wouldn't want to click on a video of, new tips and tricks and secrets of stuff I already knew. So I hope if you are a new owner or a prospective owner or even experienced owner, you'll learn something from this video, and as always, I appreciate all the comments. Subscribe to the channel and thumbs up this video if you have not already. I sincerely appreciate it. It does help this channel out a lot. And of course, everything I discussed will be linked down below if I can speak correctly. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I am Robert Rosenfeld, and I will see you in the next one.